Hi folks, thank you for joining me. We're going to start with a little bit of setup and then our warm up and then we'll pop on our backs for our first exercise. So for this one I've got a little bit of a fluffy blanket. So if you suffer with a bad back especially, you might want a fluffy blanket or even a rolled up towel or something, anything with a little bit of give in there, or a little flat cushion, whatever you've got to hand. We might also use it for our heads, so you might want to pop your forehead on it. So if you're not going to use a blanket or a towel for one of the exercises, you'll need it for your forehead. Okay, so let's sit up nice and tall as normal. Let's just think about bringing in our tummy. So imagine we've got this belt coming all the way around the middle and we've got 10 holes on the belt. Nice and tight into hold 10. Let's relax off to hold 5 and hold 3. Pelvic floor, squeezing that pelvic floor into level 10. Let's relax off to level 5 and level 3. Shoulders up, back and down. Head back in line with our spine, and we're going to zip ourselves up nice and tall. Let's just do a little bit of back mobility. So we're just going to cross our arms across our chest. Hips stay steady. Let's just take our upper body to the one side and back to the centre. Other side when you're ready, and back to the centre. And we're going to keep going, bringing in the tummy and squeezing that pelvic floor, just gently mobilising and stretching, nice and slow. Breathing in and out, in and out. So great for your mobility in your back, mobilising the neck, make sure the tummy's pulled in. Okay, let's go one more each side. Last one now. And we're going to relax. Okay, let's do some side bends. Let's have our fingers to the side of the temples. Hips stay still. Let's go down to the one side and back up. Other side and back up. And again, we're going to keep going. Bringing in the tummy and squeezing the pelvic floor. Just mobilising the back and the neck. Breathing in and out. So great for stretching that big back muscle, the latissimus dorsi, big triangular muscle goes all the way up the back to the shoulders. Breathing in and out. Well done. Nice and slow. In and out. Okay, so let's go one more each side. Last one. And we're going to relax. Okay, let's just lean forward, just allowing the back to have a bit of a stretch, relaxing the head and the shoulders, breathing in and out, in and out, and we're going to relax. Okay, so I'm just going to pop the blanket just to the one side, and let's come onto our backs when you're ready. Okay. So let's have our feet and our knees hip width apart. We're just going to do our thoracic breathing as normal. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, into the rib cage, and out through the mouth. Breathing in and out, really expanding that rib cage. Breathing in and out. In and out. Okay. So let's just have a full body stretch, really stretching the arms, stretching the legs, and we're going to relax. Okay, so we're going to do an exercise that requires quite a lot of effort off the lower body, but it could be quite a lot of strain on the back. So let me just show you, and then I'll give you a little bit of time to set up, but we'll start at a different level. We'll start with just by doing one leg. But this one is the scissors, where we tap the toe down, and then as that toe comes down, up, the other toe goes down. So they cross in the middle, they stop at the same time, and then move at the same time. If you look at my knees, I've got 90 degrees in my knees, so I'm not moving my knees, I'm not bending my knees. The movement is coming straight from the hip. Okay, so let's have our arms by our side, just relaxing the upper body. Make sure the chin is tucked in towards the breastbone, pushing the lower back down now. Make sure that tummy's pulled in, that's going to support our back. Okay, so let's just do one leg to start with. Let's bring one leg into tabletop. Make sure that that knee stays at 90 degrees, toes pointed. Now pointing the toes away from you, don't flex the feet, make sure you point those toes. So we're going to tap the toe down and then we're going to come gently back up. Exhale as you go down, inhale back. Make sure the movement's coming from the hip, working that hip flexor, working the thigh. We're going to do that another time on this side. Well done. And we're going to relax. Okay, other side, bringing that leg into tabletop. Again, tapping the toe down and back up. Exhale and inhale. Nice and slow. Just relaxing the upper body and shoulders. Okay, now that one's a good one to do if you've got a bad back. Just alternating which leg we do. Now if your back's okay, let's bring both legs into tabletop position. Now there's a few ways that we could do it from here. So we're going to make sure that our knee stays in line with our hips, so we don't want to bring those knees any closer. And then we're just going to tap one toe down, and then we're going to bring that leg back up again into tabletop. Other leg, extending that leg down, and then back to tabletop. And keep going. So now we're alternating which leg we do. And we're making sure that we're keeping that other leg in tabletop position until that other leg is back up to the top. Now this one is a little bit kinder, again, if you're not feeling too energetic or if you have a bad back. And then we could go into our scissor position for anybody who wants to. So now we can move one leg away, and then as that toe comes back up, the other leg moves away. So now they stop at the same time. And they move at the same time. They almost cross in the middle. So remember to breathe. Now you could follow the breathing of the one leg. So I'm going to follow the breathing of my left leg. So I'm going to go exhale, moving away. Inhale back. Exhale away. Inhale back. Now keep going, folks. I don't normally show you a bad way of doing it. But if you are just bending your knees, if you're not moving from your hips, you're only mobilising the knee. You really want to move from that hip. So the best way to think about that one is reaching for the end of the mat slightly. So really reaching down. Make sure that lower back's pushed down. At some point you're going to need a rest. So as soon as you feel your tummy expanding or you've lost control of that lower back, if it's arching off the floor, just pop the legs down, have a few deep breaths, push your lower back down. And then go again, nice and steady. Breathing in and out. Well done. Reaching for the end of the mat, remember. Remember, you could always come back to one leg at a time if you want to. Just doing one leg at a time will really work those hips still, really work those lower abdominal muscles. You'll feel this in your thighs. We're working our lower abdominal muscles, those two that don't really like doing a lot right at the bottom. But they're really important for our lower back stability. It's a great exercise for working the core. Breathing in and out. In and out. Okay, so let's just do one more set. So just have a little bit of a break. Okay, let's come back up. We're going to go again. We could perhaps just do a count of 10 this time, just to give you that last little bit of a working those abdominal muscles. Breathing in and out. In and out. Let's go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to relax. Okay, well done, folks. It's quite a hard one. Let's have a full body stretch. Stretching the arms, stretching the legs. And we're going to relax. Okay, so to give our legs a little bit of a rest, we're going to do something called the 100, but I'm going to leave the legs on the floor. So sometimes we can lift our legs up to add that little bit more engagement. I'm going to leave the legs on the floor so we can really concentrate on working these abdominal muscles. So let me show you what we're going to do. So this is where we're going to curl the head and the shoulders up. I'm going to reach up towards those knees. I'm going to pulse the arms for a count of 10. And then we're going to relax that down. We're going to bring the arms up and over and hold. And then we're going to go back into this lifted position. And we're going to do that 10 times. Now, if you've got a bad neck, you could always pop your hands behind the head and lift the head with those hands slightly rather than using our arms to come out to the front. So let's have our feet and our knees hip width apart, pushing our lower backs down. Most important thing here is thinking about this tummy button. Pulling that tummy button in towards the spine and up towards your rib cage, especially when you lift your upper body up. You really want to engage those muscles so they're pulling in and up. Okay, feet and our knees are hip width apart, arms resting down by our side. Now we're going to do 10 sets of 10. If it gets too hard on the neck, remember, pop either one hand or both hands behind the head. Okay, so let's bring in that tummy and squeeze the pelvic floor. We're going to lift the head and the shoulders. We're going to reach right up and we're going to hold. And now we're going to pulse. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax back down. Bring the arms up and over for a shoulder stretch. Okay, let's go again. Let's bring those arms back. Let's reach up and hold. Let's pulse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's relax back. Let's bring the arms up and over. Let's go again now. Bringing the arms back. Count yourselves. Let's come up. So make sure that that tummy is pulled right in. Pulling it in and up. Really pulsing, holding the upper body really still, no bounce into the head. And let's relax back down, bringing the arms up and over. Let's go again. Coming around, bringing the arms up, lifting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax back. Let's take the arms up and over. Let's go again now. Remember to breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax back. Well done. Okay, so we're halfway. Remember, keep breathing, folks. Bringing in that tummy. Let's come back up. Hold the head still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax back. Take the arms up and over to stretch those abdominal muscles out. Let's come back again. Count yourselves now. Let's lift up. Remember, breathing in and out, nice and slow. Looking towards those knees, keeping the head still, bringing the tummy in and up. Well done. And let's relax back down. Arms go up and over. Let's go again. Coming up, lifting. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Taking the arms up and over. Let's go again now. Let's lift up. Remember, nice and slow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Relax back again. Okay, last one now, folks. Let's go again. Don't rush. Let's come up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And relax. Well done. Let's have a full body stretch. Stretching the arms, stretching the legs. Okay. So we're going to go on our side. I'll show you what we're going to do and then I'll give you a little bit of time to set up. So you might want your blanket because you might not like this one, especially if you've got a bad shoulder. So I'll show you what to do and again then I'll show you an alternative. So this is where we're going to come up. I'm going to bring the hands up towards the ceiling and then I'm going to reach through. I'm going to see if I can touch the wall behind me and then I'm going to come gently back up and I'm going to keep going. Now what we're going to do, we're all going to start off on the floor and we could do just the chest opener where we roll our upper body back and then forward again, a little bit kinder if you've got a bad shoulder. Okay, let's have both knees in a bent position. Have something underneath your head, so either your blanket or your block, whatever you've got to hand. Our hands are right in front of us. And let's bring in the tummy and squeeze the pelvic floor. So we're going to have a breath, and on your exhale, we're going to reach up and over. Inhale, we're going to come back. Exhale, up and over. Inhale back. In fact, let's change our breathing because we're going to need to breathe out the other way for the other one. So let's breathe out as we come down and inhale, extend. Out as you come down and inhale as you extend. Okay, so keep going with that one if you have a bad shoulder or back neck. So let's come onto our elbows for you to do the next one. Our bottom leg is bent, so we can do a side plank as well with this one. Have the top leg in that straight position. So we want to lift this hip up off the floor if we can. So lifting that hip up. So now we're after a nice line from the nose, through the belly button and the pelvic floor. Lifting that arm up now. So look at the arm or look up towards the ceiling slightly, but not too much because you don't want to tilt back. And let's bring that arm forward. We're going to see if we can touch a wall behind us. And then we're going to come back up. So we're going to exhale as we come down. Inhale as we come back up. And again, keep going, nice and steady. Breathing in and out. Well done. So this one is really good for working our oblique muscles, working everything around the core. As you're going up, we're opening up that chest, great for our posture. As you're coming forward, you're really asking that oblique muscle to work. You're really working that upper body. Try to reach right behind you. So imagine you've got a wall behind you and you're really reaching towards the wall. And back up. Well done. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, back up. Exhale, down. Inhale, back up. Well done. Okay, so I know it's quite a hard exercise, so let's just do one more. So make our next one our last one. And we're going to relax. Well done. Okay, so now we're going to come onto our hands and our knees. So remember which side you've just done, because then we'll come back and do the other side. So for this one, we are going to go into a cat stretch and then a little bit of an arch. So let me just show you. So I'm going to arch the back into a cat stretch, and then I'm going to come back to a flat back position. And then again, I'm going to go into a cat stretch, really arching, and then back to a flat back position. Okay, so when you're ready, let's go into a box position. So we want a nice line from our ear through to our hip. Let's bring in the tummy and pelvic floor. So let's arch the back and relax the head. And then we're just going to come back to a flat back position. Again, arching, relaxing the head. And then back to a flat back position. And keep going, nice and steady. So when you arch, think about these tummy muscles, because we really want to work this core. So think about arching, pulling that tummy button in towards the spine and up towards your rib cage. So you're really engaging those tummy muscles and also your intercostal muscles. Those muscles go in and around the rib cage. Now when you arch, you're really pulling that tummy in and up, feeling the squeeze in those abdominal muscles, and then back to the flat back position. Now when you go back to the flat back position, don't just let everything just hang out. Make sure that you pull the tummy in slightly. So even though you don't want to pull it in too hard in this flat back position, because you really want to push right in, pulling that tummy in as you arch, but you don't want to let that core go too much. You want to keep those tummy muscles engaged, back into your flat back position, and then arch again. Imagine somebody's pulling that tummy button up towards the ceiling, or got a little bit of string around your waist and really pulling right up towards that ceiling. Arching that back, nice and slow. Exhale, arch, and inhale back to the flat back position. Now I love this one. It's super good for your mobilisation in your spine. It's great for stabilisation in your pelvis. We're working our upper back and our shoulders by bone loading and using our own body weight on our hands and our knees. And the best bit is we're working our abdominal muscles and our core. Remember, as you arch, you're pulling in and up. So I know it's quite a lot for anybody with bad wrists. I know it's sure uncomfortable. So we're going to make our next one our last one. So again, we're going to come up. And then we're just going to relax back. Okay, let's go back into child's pose. Arms out in front of you for a shoulder stretch. And we're going to relax. Okay, so now we're going to need something to go underneath our forehead. So I'm going to use my blanket. Use whatever you feel comfortable with. So let me just show you what we're going to do next. So this one is where we're going to have our arms by our side. We're going to lift the upper body. I'm going to bring the arms forward, bring the arms back and then down. And if you're feeling super strong, you could lift both legs, bringing the arms forward, bringing the arms back and down. Okay, so onto your fronts when you're ready. Popping something underneath your head. And let's have our feet hip width apart behind us. So arms by our side. Now I'm just going to lift my head up slightly so you can hear me. You need to make sure that your head is relaxed down, just to give that spine a little bit of a rest. Okay, let's make sure our tummy's pulled in towards the spine and squeezing the pelvic floor. So just the upper body, let's lift the upper body. Let's hold. Let's bring the arms forward. Let's bring the arms back and then down. Let's go again. We're going to lift up. We're going to hold. Exhale, bringing the arms forward. Rotate the shoulders. Inhale back again. And relax back down. Now, if that's too much on your lower back, I would just stay at that level. If you want to go a stage further, you could lift the legs. Let's come up. Reaching forward, touching our own fingers. Bringing the arms back and down. Go again. Exhale. And inhale, nice and steady, bringing in the tummy, squeezing the pelvic floor. We're lifting, exhale forward, inhale back and down. Tummy's engaged, nice and slow. Exhale and inhale, taking your time, just mobilising and stretching. Well done. Breathing in and out. In and out. Well done. Nice and slow. Bring the arms forward. You're really adding that little bit of extra pressure onto that core. Okay, because it's quite uncomfortable on our fronts, let's make our next one again. Our last one. Going forwards. And backwards and down. Okay, let's push back into our child's pose position. Arms out in front of you. Okay, so before we go back onto our other side, we're now going to do a seated one. So I'm going to do some roll backs. So let me just show you what a roll back looks like. So this is where we sit up nice and tall. And we go back into a half roll back. So we go down halfway and then we come up. Now, if you've got a bad back, now my back does not like this exercise, so I use a blanket behind me, and it means that my spine's got something to push against. So if you're like me and you struggle to come up off the floor from a roll back position, use a blanket or a towel. It'll give you lots of support and it may surprise you, you might be able to come all the way up. But what we're going to do, we're going to try half roll backs and then we're going to go down into a full roll back for any of you who wants to. We're going to take the arms up and over and then we're going to bring our arms back and then curling up into this lifted position. Okay, so using that blanket if you want to. So let's pop it behind us. Don't worry if you don't want to. If you don't want to use the blanket, that's fine. Let's have our feet hip width apart, sitting up nice and tall now. Nice line from the ear through to the hip. So bringing in the tummy, pelvic floor, arms out to the front. So let's go down into the C shape. Let's go back halfway. And then we're going to come gently back up again. Let's go again. We're going to exhale as we go down. Have a breath in, and then exhale as we come back up. Okay, so you could just stay half roll back, really pushing the middle part of your back out. Or we could go all the way back now. Now when you go back, make sure you go back really slow. So slowly back, taking the arms up and over, then having your breath on your exhale, bringing the arms back, turning the chin in, and then rolling back up to your straight back position. Keep going, bringing in the tummy, squeezing that pelvic floor. Just do whichever one you feel comfortable with. Well done. Remember the blanket's there to aid it, just to make it that little bit easier on the spine. It gives your spine something to push into to come gently back up again. But you don't have to go all the way back. You could just go back halfway, remember. Remember, exhale as you go back. Have a breath. And exhale as you come forward. Nice and steady. You can mix and match, perhaps go back all the way, alternating, using the mobilisation in the hips and the back. Well done. Exhale, having a breath in, and then exhale, coming forward. Well done. Going back halfway if you want to. I'm just going to do the last few halfway, rather than all the way back, so I can really stretch the back, pushing the middle part of the back out, nice and steady. Exhale and inhale. I'm going to make the next one my last one. When you're ready, coming down and back up. Well done, folks. Okay, let's take the blankets away, unless you are going to use it on your side. In fact, should we all start off on our side, and we'll do the chest opener again. So we'll have both legs in a bent position. Our hands are out to the front. Let's bring in the tummy, pelvic floor. We're going to exhale as you go up and over. Inhale, back again. Exhale, up and over. Inhale, back again. And then remember, you could come onto your elbow and do exactly the same exercise. Have the bottom leg bent, top leg nice and straight, toe pointed. And then just lifting this hip up, nice and steady. Bringing the arm up, reaching through. Imagine you're touching that wall behind you, and then back up. Exhale, under. Inhale, back up. Keep going, bringing in that tummy, squeezing that pelvic floor. Just nice and slow. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Well done. So I know it's quite a lot on the shoulder. You can come down on the floor if it's too much. It sounds really good. Great for working that core. Watch the hands as you go underneath and back again. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. Nice and steady. Okay, let's make our next one and last one. And then we're going to come gently back up. Okay, let's come back into a seated position now. Well done. Or you could stand up. So let's think about our core again. Let's bring in that tummy, squeeze the pelvic floor, shoulders up, back and down. We're just going to do some side bends just to release the tension in these waist muscles. We're going to lean over to the one side, just stretch and back again. Other side, stretch and back again. Just keep going, nice and slow. Breathing out and in, out and in. Okay, one last one, and we're going to relax. Okay, with our tummies engaged, pelvic floor, shoulders up, back and down, head back in line with our spine, and we're going to zip ourselves up nice and tall now. Thank you for joining me, folks. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you soon.